Hi guys, I hope you guys are well. Today, as I was getting some stuff done, I heard the Lord whisper, tested, right? And I wrote it in my phone, but I kind of waited for a little bit. And the Lord gave me the reference. I'm going to read this to you, okay? So this is actually James 1 verse 2, and I'm going to read a little bit onwards, okay? Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete. So now I want to just say something to you. Many of you guys, you are being tested right now, okay? You are being tested right now. And what's being tested right now is your faith. Remember what Paul said. Paul said that when he had a lot, he was content. When he had a little, he was content, right? Right now, you are being tested, right? And what comes with a test? A testimony, okay? A testimony. Before you even go through a test, the Lord, he teaches you things. First, you have to unlearn things of the world, unlearn things that you were taught, right? And then the Lord starts to teach you things, new things, okay, through him. When he renews you and he restores your wisdom, he restores your mind and everything, right? Even when you have a new heart, he has to teach you new things, right? So now after you learn from God, end up going through a test. It's no different from school. You go to the classroom, you sit down, the teacher is teaching you things, you get your assignments to just kind of like, go over what you've already learned, right? And then after that, there is a test, right? And then you are graded after the test. You either pass or you don't pass, okay? It's the same concept as to what's going on in your life right now. You're literally on your way to the next level because a test ends up becoming what? A testimony. Just like many things in your life in the past where you thought you were going to get through it. You're like, God, I don't know how this is going to happen. And some of you guys even thought you were going to pass. Some of you guys were like, you didn't know how you were going to survive. And you ended up surviving. It's the same concept right now. You are being tested just like you were being tested back then, okay? But when you look back at the things that you've gone through, you realize that it's a testimony, you got through it, right? And you also realize that a breakthrough came with it, right? It's the same concept now. Whatever you're going through right now that is a trial and tribulation, you are going through it because there is a testimony that is in the making, okay? There is a testimony in the making. And not only that, but you have, remember when I told you guys about spiritual endurance, where I said many of you guys are going to be going through things, and it's to really just strengthen your spiritual endurance. So when God takes you to the next level where there's going to be harder tests, harder trials, harder tribulations, you know how to overcome these tests and these tribulations. You know how to pray. You know how to fast through it because you have already gone through these stages in your life. You have already been strengthened pertaining to your spiritual endurance level. Similar to black magic and witchcraft attacks. Many of us have gone through witchcraft, and I can attest to this, okay? In the beginning, when I gone through it, it felt like I was gonna die, and I was near death, right? But at the same time, the attacks would always take a hold of me because I didn't understand how to pray. I didn't understand how to fast, nor did I even know my authority through Christ, right? And because of all this, they did kind of consume me for a bit. But the more and more and more I grew through Christ, the more he taught me things, the more I went through tests and trials and tribulations, the more I passed these tests and went on to the next levels, the more stronger I became pertaining to the next tests, right? Every test that comes in, yes, sometimes it's harder than the last one, but I always get through it. And that's what I mean when I say spiritual endurance. And that's also what it says here when it says, let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. Because it says here, that testing of your faith produces perseverance, right? So the only way perseverance can finish its work is if you go through testing, which means you are going to have to go through these tests to strengthen their perseverance, to strengthen the endurance level, okay? So that you may not lack anything. That means that when God takes you to the next level, you don't lack anything. When God takes you to the next level, you are mature, you are wise, you understand what's going on because you've already been through that before, because your perseverance at that moment was already tested, right? So now that you're heading into a new direction, the perseverance in that direction, you will pass that test with ease because you've already been pruned for it, okay? You are no longer drinking milk, but now you are eating meat, okay? So it says here also, if any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously without finding fault, and it will be given to you. But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like a wave in the sea, blown and tossed in the wind. So if you are going through the trials, the tribulations, and you're being tested right now, right? The best thing to do before you react and do things that the devil wants you to do, the best thing to do is get on your knees and pray to God and ask God for wisdom and strength on how to get through the storm, how to get through these tests, okay? When you're in school and you're completing an assignment, and even though the teacher has taught you some things, you realize you're going through a little bit of fog pertaining to your memory. What do? You raise your hand and you say, ma'am, sir, question number 2, I know you've already explained this to me, but can you reiterate this for me, please? Because I really want to figure out what this means. And what happens? The teacher goes over that question with you and explains it again, and then your memory starts to refresh, and then you remember what you're supposed to do, right? It's the same concept with whatever you're going through right now. Instead of reacting emotionally or physically, always pray to God, because right now you are being tested right now, okay? You are, and like I tell you guys all the time, the devil wants you to self-sabotage because he know he cannot steal your breakthroughs from you. So he's trying to get you to self-sabotage. So if you're going through something right now, pray and ask for wisdom on how to get through it. It's always best to pray. And like I tell you guys all the time, if you're not sure which direction to go in, and you feel confused or stuck, like I said about the GPS, when you look at your GPS and you notice you're not going in the right direction, you pull your car over to the side, you park, and then you reroute the GPS, right? It's the same concept with your relationship with God. If you notice you're confused or you're going through something, don't just make decisions with this mindset. Instead, pray, pause, and allow God to direct your path and reroute you, okay? God will give you wisdom, but you also have to believe. This also means that while you are going through building your perseverance, building your endurance, you have to have faith and you have to believe, okay? You have to believe, because a lot of people, a lot of the reasons why they fall backwards or they fall into traps and they take matters in their own hands is because they didn't believe. Okay, so I just want to tell you guys that right now you are definitely going through a test, and again, this too shall pass, like the other tests shall pass. Many of you guys, you're eating meat now, but how did you start eating meat? How did you get off the milk? You went through your tests and trials and tribulations, received testimonies through those trials and tribulations, and now you are onto the meat stage. So now you have to understand that the trials and tribulations that you're gonna go through during the meat stage, they're gonna be a little bit harder, a little bit more pressure than what you've already endured. But guess what? Once you get through this stage, perseverance will be complete and prepping you for the next direction, the next breakthrough, okay? I love you guys so much. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.